from Na'Vi yesterday on this map. Really great play. They looked very confident. You could see that they had a lot of actually innovative setups, which really does suggest to me, because if you're playing outside of what the norm looks like, then to a level like this, important matches in the major, then it has to be because you've been testing stuff. They've actually been focusing on it in the boot camp. I'm convinced that that is the answer, and that was one of the things that Thorin was suggesting would be one of the reasons why this would be the case, that we're landing on cobblestone right now. So this should be an awesome game. Tell your friends. You can see there's 500k viewers already. Shoutouts to you guys, but tell your friends. Get everyone on here. This one's going to be good. Na'Vi versus EnVyUS. Envy on the T side, the favored side. They will get to dictate the pace, and Na'Vi.
Will they get to
that is a good question.
Flamey in there. Na'Vi have gone for diffuse kit flash, as we saw in the previous match as well. Very curious to see how that plays out. Seas has deployed one already, maybe to get Flamey into position. Simple's playing the off angles as well. We know he's got the aim. 3 players for Envy moving slowly, but now things are starting to pick up the pace. And there we go. Guardian running that could allow Simple to get pick off people. Kenny S with 2 kills though. The bomb's been spotted, but only sees on the A bomb site. He was 0 with the defuse in the flames on the last couple of stones. Can he do the same this time? Flashbang's coming in, but he's still alive. No more kills, but this is allowing the CTs to rotate. Happy was there to cut off the rotators, but he will fail. But it's Flamey alone versus 2. 2 kills for Apex, 2 kills for Kenny. Can either of them get the third?
Yeah, Flamey's actually a pretty good spot here with this USP. Has to just connect quickly. Oh, he's now stuck between 2 players. Awkward times now for Flamey, and it will not be something he can overcome this time around. 3 for Kenny, 2 for Apex. And then EnVyUS just storming through onto the A bomb site, trading their way to a bomb plant, managed to make the difference for round number 1. And that's going to allow them to continue in a dominant fashion at the very beginnings, at least, unless anything untoward happens, which is potentially the case. We'll have to see what Na'Vi's response here, because a lot of teams actually go for a force buy here, and you can work out in certain spots, but generally it's not optimal because you need a big buy when you have to buy. And look at this, James. They go for a full save. I love this from Na'Vi. Simple's not even buying a deagle. Hashtag new Simple.
Yeah, hashtag new Simple. Number 75
exactly.
At this point. He's in very good spirits today, which is always nice to see. That was a nice shot by Kenny S towards the end of that last round. Always interesting when you see AWPers, how they use the other weapons in the game. If I'm not mistaken, Guardian's one of the few who changes his zoom sensitivity ratio setting. So his aim will be somewhat different. I changed mine as well, so I have some connection with Guardian.
Great.
He's sitting quite close to us. The Na'Vi guys are beside the commentating table. So Na'Vi have stacked the B bomb site. Again, this raises a question. With no investment made, are they going to, with weapons like a Mac 10 in play, they know these weapons are going to be in play. So there's a lot of money for Envy to make if they can find Na'Vi and kill them, which is why Na'Vi won't even be playing for exit frags in this situation. They want to starve the economy of the T's.
Yeah, and one cool thing here from Na'Vi too is that they're not really hunting to try to get kills or put themselves in spots where their positioning sucks. They're actually trying to get all the edges possible, not give anything away. Because what are you going to do with USPs? Pretty much nothing. The only way you really get kills is if you force a greedy EnVyUS to try to run into engagements which are very unfavorable. And EnVyUS give them the respect there. They don't tread into any unknown territory. So we actually have a round finishing where 10 people survive, James, and that doesn't happen too often, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Na'Vi, Envy have no idea if there was a force buy from Na'Vi. They don't know if they've got 5-7s and so on. And Na'Vi are going for a funky 3rd round buy. We've got M4s coming out, we've got some FAMASs, the UMP as well, so a different approach from Na'Vi. Again, looks like a lot of teams have got surprises for us at this major. Envy moving quickly towards the B bomb site. Now, again, Envy don't know what to expect in this situation. It could be absolutely nothing, could be 5-7s. I think this is the last of what they're going to be expecting. As soon as Na'Vi start to rattle off some shots, they will know what is going on. And maybe Na'Vi want to leave that as late as possible, so no spray through the smoke or anything. Lots of question marks for Envy.
Yeah, this is really cool. Na'Vi they surely have been putting in a lot of work onto this map, and it is so far quite interesting. Now, EnVyUS have circumvented where the majority of Na'Vi are already into the round. Still happy though, is harassing towards drop zone, keeping a constant presence there just to keep the question marks in. But now we have a faster pace here. EnVyUS start to charge onto A.
I don't think anyone's fired a bullet yet for Na'Vi. So now the surprise is coming in. The M4 have themselves. Down goes Sixer, Simple playing around the smoke. Meanwhile, he's running distraction while his teammates come in for the frags. Look at this smoke. We've seen smoke plays on the B's bottom side of Cash. Now we're seeing it again on Cobblestone. Finally, a kill comes in for the EnVy side, but this is falling apart for them. Happy alone now with 25 HP. Great round so far from Na'Vi.
Yeah, Happy's got to get some kills here. He needs the damage, but look at that angle. There's nothing you can do. That was a round where Na'Vi almost survived with that defense, with 5 players almost. It was just Happy coming in from drop, which caused some issues right at the end, but they stopped the bulk of the push against 4 players without losing 1 man. That is impressive. That is very encouraging for Na'Vi. And if they keep the spirits up and we keep seeing their plans really come into fruition as they have been so far in the limited rounds that we have seen from them in the major so far, yesterday and today. It's a scary Na'Vi to be up against.
Yeah, now the question is, how do EnVy adjust to a Na'Vi playing this strong on Cobblestone? EnVy pulling out the AK-47s once again. They've got 4 people focusing on the A site. This is their setup is the opposite to what you normally see. Normally there's like 1, maybe 2 lurkers around the underpass in mid area, if you will. And lots of people harassing the drop, harassing the plateau position, but this time it's Happy lurking on the B side of the site. Simple with a very poor position. 1 kill for him. There goes Apex as well. Big damage done by Simple.
Yeah, that's really perfect. In a position like that, if you get 2, that is generally the best case you're going to be able to expect, and that's what Simple delivers. Great player to have in a spot like that. And 3 men is what EnVyUS have to work with as they start to bring themselves onto the A bomb side. Sixer carrying the bomb. And that's flamie taking down KDS. He wins the battle against Sixer. That surely is the round over. 1 versus 4 for Happy. And he will go down immediately to flamie. What a smooth start. What a smooth recovery, in fact, after Na'Vi lost that initial couple rounds.
One of the best things about this right now is that Simple is very much playing as a solid part of a whole unit.
Yes, exactly.
That is awesome. This is some serious A-team stuff going on from Na'Vi, and that's great to see if you are a fan of the Na'Vi side, the black and yellows.
This has always been the big question with Simple, is that we always knew that he had an incredibly large amount of raw talent, but it was always like, at what point would Simple find a team where he would mature as a player to the degree that he could really integrate into the team, and at a point where it would benefit the team and not harm his own ability to have individual impact. Because that's where we're at right now, I think. It could be that. And we have a fast play here, just the pistols being thrown against Na'Vi's defense, but it is like waves against the walls of a fort at the moment. They're crashing against it, but that fort is withstanding it perfectly. Everyone here for Na'Vi looking pretty good. Sees the only man to go down, and EnVyUS with still poor money.
Yeah, this is a very strong start from Na'Vi despite losing the pistol. We'll see how it continues. Their money is going deeper into the black. EnVy with the Deagles coming out. So I would expect more people to go towards the B plateau, try and get those long-range duels, but the question is, will Na'Vi want to peek? I mean, again, yesterday we saw Na'Vi on Cobblestone and Guardian just jumped into B plateau without flashbang from his side, which was unusual to say the least. I don't expect that we will see that today. And again, EnVy focusing on the A bomb site. Now we have Simple going for a forward play towards A, like we used to see in the flip side days. They're just Happy looking towards the B bomb site, so do wonder what kind of EnVy we will see on the next spy round.
And Simple's playing alone. They're a little bit of a forward position to get some info. No nades left on him, he's going to fall back. And something we saw out of VP was just playing Snacks alone on A long. And but Na'Vi against Task Force yesterday, they had many 3-man setups towards A long. So just they're showing so many variations to their defense. And Edward's going to start things off here with a quick pick-off. Simple though, able to get nothing against the numbers, but look at the support that comes in. It is a firing range almost. 3 players immediately respond.
For those of you on Go TV, I would recommend for this one Simple and Flamey, and I'll say Flamey on the CT side. His by the way, there's an EnVyUS timeout at the moment, tactical timeout. I think Flamey's POV for this half will be somewhat boring because of the position he's playing, but I would recommend it as a comparison to how Taz was playing it on Cobblestone yesterday, because Taz had a lot of problems in the position he was playing. Flamey's playing a similar position but from different angles, so that's of interest to me. But generally speaking, I think Simple and how he's definitely playing as part of the unit, part of the whole, will be interesting to watch on this half at the very least.
Yeah, it's always a cool idea as well, because Simple going into Na'Vi, with the likes of Guardian on the team, such amazing players individually. You're wondering, is it too much skill? Do you have like an all-star team situation there? And it's gonna be fun to see the journey Na'Vi take us on in this major, to see how far they have come to integrate Simple to have a flawless units. Now, with this round, we actually see EnVyUS, they have the ability here to play it slowly if they want to really get kennyS some opportunities. Because kennyS trying to open the map up is often going to be a winner here for EnVyUS. They can get him into some positions. But the thing is that Na'Vi going to be playing against that. They're going to realize that. And you can see their setups here are very passive towards A, not giving anything away at the moment. 4 players here on the B box early on. You can see that they're sort of preparing for any fast rush timings.
Yeah, that's a really awesome, different setup from Na'Vi. One of the most important things on the CT side is not to be predictable. Complete change here. You saw Simple very aggressive when he knew EnVy didn't have the cash, and now they're going to waste time looking for him. And he will hear these players jumping around through the wall, and now we have a 2-man rotation. 3 on the A bomb site now, so we have the information sharing from Na'Vi. We've got the preemptive Molotov and grenades there as well. We'll see what EnVy can do with this. Again, 4 towards A, but can they capitalize on their numbers advantage?
So time is starting to tick away now. Down to 40 seconds, and it looks like EnVyUS have set everything up, and it's time to spring the trap. And march forwards, look at that, just boosting over the smoke here. MBK taking a cursory glance to see if he can spot anything at all, but there is nothing to be spotted. There is little information that Na'Vi have given away to EnVyUS at this point. In goes the pop flash. We saw Simple get 2 from this position before. Does he get the same? No. MBK shuts him down this time, and Flamey not getting the result that he got previously as well. Much better start into the push. Sisto stepping up to the plate, delivers 2. The third won't come quite so easily, but there's a chance here still for Na'Vi. But the time, they have to plant the bomb.
He doesn't need to base, he doesn't need to base, he doesn't need to base, he can't plant the bomb, just hide Edward, he can't plant the bomb. Oh, that was so close if EnVy had faced, but how could they know? Just by the skin of their teeth, Na'Vi stay in the winning column. That was so close, down to the wire. Oh man, that was very nervous stuff for both sides.
Imagine if Edward died there, James, when they couldn't have time to plant the bomb, he'd have, that's like you have egg all over your face. That's just...
Yeah, you see the bomb dropping in this position. I don't know if they kept an eye on where the bomb was with all the action going on. How could you? That clock in the red already. Edward coming through the door as the smoke dissipates, just winning by timeout. Lovely stuff. Great late adjustment there from Na'Vi. And again, they stay in the winning column, but EnVy are back on the buy once again. Next to no grenades, and now the focus goes back towards the B bomb site. Kenny in the forward position. Lovely flashbang coming in there to slow him down. No one going close. They're not going to serve themselves up if they can avoid it. But EnVy definitely looking for the picks rather, with the lack of utility.
Flashbang.
So EnVyUS, they got kennyS in that forward spot. Oh, Guardian's going to take him down. That's the problem. Star Orper against Star Orper. And that's going to be back to the drawing board perhaps in this round for EnVyUS, or do they double down on the plateau aggression? How do you bring yourself back in this one? Seas gets a pick there, 1 versus 1 in the drop zone. Things getting worse progressively here as time ticks on. What do they do from this position? They just have to try to get some crazy shots at this point. Individual flare is all that can really save them now.
Happy, still creeping around. He's made a step. Edward can keep his team up to date on the information. Down goes Guardian. Position smoked up as well. Edward trades, so trade comes straight back, but again, still a man advantage for the CT, but that advantage is not on the B bomb side at the moment. Flamey taking the bomb down. That's waste some time. There's 30 seconds left, and Happy's on his own. He's got 3 kills so far. He needs to ace to get his team back to winning ways. They desperately need to win this round, but Simple will not allow it. There seems to be no solution to Na'Vi's CT side at the moment. It's like trying to slam a revolving door, Dan.
Yeah, I like that. Slam a revolving door. That's so clever. Now, I mean, I agree with you. It's looking really troublesome. They've obviously tried a lot of different setups here. You can see this time it's KennyS looking for a pick, but Guardian's timing there with the flashbangs and everything was just so on point, and everyone is really delivering well here in their position, just doing enough. I mean, no one's kind of overperforming here for Na'Vi, but everyone's just doing their job and just doing enough, really. And this time at EnVyUS, they have only some Tech Knights, a single AK unhappy. They're going to take that push straight to the A-bomb site. That is going to go into the hands of Flamey and Simple. But Simple has an AWP this time. It's the first time he's going to be defending A directly with this AWP.
And Flamey's close, he hears the running. There are 4 people on the A-bomb site already for the CT side. Down goes Simple, just the 1 kill, but Edward's in a great position. 2-man spray down for him. Flamey getting in work as well. Edward trying to tap, doesn't work out. NBK with the CZ, but he's the last man standing, last man to fall. Sees through the wood, straight in the dome. Na'Vi look unstoppable on the CT side.
Yeah, they really do. This is such a strong performance. EnVyUS, they're a team as well that you would expect them. Like, one of the reasons why Cobblestone is going to be a great map for them is that their aggression and their picking ability in the likes of Apex and KennyS and so on, it really favors that aggressive style, and that style that allows individual skill to really come into play. But Na'Vi have been finding so many ways to mitigate that, to stop the individual skill coming into it as much, and just playing from advantages so well. Really good CT side so far in the face of the EnVyUS offense. Can they keep it up here? Another big buy for EnVyUS.
Saw a big document in front of Happy with lots of yellow stickers, which I would assume is a strap box. So they've come prepared, but how do you prepare for a Na'Vi looking so solid on Cobblestone? Envy picking up the pace, moving into the Cobblestone area. Apex spots the shoulder, but he can't get it kill. He's completely blind, and he is at mercy of Seized. Seized offers no mercy. Happy above the drop, but no one's going to re-peek him. No one's going to give him a trade frag. How do they answer back?
It's so tough, isn't it? Guardian's here, misses the first flick shot. Perhaps opportunity comes with that as he repositions here. And we get the fragging action onto the bomb site as KennyS tries to push forwards, and he's doing so successfully here. A couple of kills coming in for him, but NBK's the only man in support. Oh, there you go. Frag again from KennyS. He's not stopping right now, but he's the only man left against 2 more. Can he get the ace going? No. Edward shuts it down with the push, up close and personal with the AK-47. That's an 8-2 scoreline. That's another round where EnVyUS have been crushed.
That is a face of frustration. That is a face of steely concentration. 8 rounds in a row for Na'Vi. 8 rounds in a row. This is quite a monster performance. Their money, though, isn't amazing at the moment. There's a chance of a comeback for Envy. Some comeback. I mean, they're running out of rounds to win, and this one doesn't look likely. They've gone for a buy with 1 AK and a few pistols. We'll see what they can do with it. I mean, they've got 2 flashbangs and a smoke grenade. That's it. They're looking for those close quarters engagements. But again, look at the setup from Na'Vi. They are nowhere near Envy's position. It's almost like they know what Envy are going to do before Envy decide to do it.
Yeah, such a limited spot to work from with that money as it is, and Simple put one straight in the face of NBK. Flamey's been playing so many annoying positions on this bomb site. You can see they're searching for him. The search party's out, but Flamey will strike. And this defense is so hard to surmount. Happy comes in, but again, last man standing, always having to play from such disadvantage. EnVyUS as Na'Vi winning, not just on the individual skill right now, but they are winning tactically, strategically. They are looking great, and it's hard to deny it. 9-2 is a mammoth scoreline on the CT side of Cobblestone, James.
Yeah, and they look pretty chill as well. And that's like, Simple looks so focused, even though they're experiencing nothing but success. And that's really good to see. At the previous major, or majors, I think part of his play, he got excited by the response of the crowd. He can hear the roar, and then he'll maybe overextend here and there. But he looks super chill at the moment, and that's very good. Looking in the long term for Na'Vi, long term of this tournament, long term of this year. Envy on the buy once again. NBK now down to the UMP, but they've got bags of utility. Can they spam the flashbangs and get onto the sites? Back
to the basics for EnVyUS. Onto that B, but that's where Na'Vi have 4 players early into the round, as they have in many rounds before this one as well. Up onto the tree goes Apex, not much help, but it looks like Happy and NBK doing enough damage, causing enough distraction and to allow Apex full freedom there from that vantage point. And finally, EnVyUS have found a way in. And it's just Simple against 3. And with the money so low, actually, for a Na'Vi, they may actually consider not committing Simple all the way. Unless perhaps he gets a 3-1 very quickly. And there, that could be just the frag to convince Simple to go for it.
Let's see, 2 to find. Happy with 3 HP. Quite dangerous. Trying to bait out players, running all over the place, but he can't do much off. Did some damage though to the economy. If he saved, he could have dropped a gun for Flamey, who had about 1400. But finally, Envy have found a way in. Has it come too late though? That's the question. They've got 3 rounds on the board. Na'Vi are coming straight back at them with another buy. Not going to give them any rounds. And you see the players on the French side trying to keep the spirits up. There's a technical pause. Happy's dropped from the server. Hopefully he'll be back, but again, they're trying to keep their frame of mind. Yes, they are down, but by no means are they out. Envy, kings of the comeback, if you will. Never over until it's over, especially with a team where the players are as strong as they are on the Envy side. So hopefully Happy's issue will be resolved shortly.
Yeah, that's really the thing, isn't it? It's just when you look at the players, that their skill is just so incredibly high, and so one would hope that they would be able to extract a couple extra rounds here to really give Na'Vi a run for their money. But at the same time, as you said, with Simple playing in the way that he is, because let's look at that last clutch situation. There is definitely an argument for Simple, even after getting the frag, to maybe even go for the save. But at the same time, Simple is the player on your team that will just do the unthinkable, that will win those 10% situations. And so you want him to be still capable of feeling like he can do that on the team, but still play a part of the team as well. It's a fine balance to walk with such a player as Simple. So it's going to be fun to see how that develops.
Right then.
Do EnVyUS have an answer, James? Their round win was Rush B.
This is basically the first round they've won since the pistol. Bearing in mind the second round, the Na'Vi stacked to one site and then hid. So it's been a long time in this match since Envy have experienced success, and it's been 9 rounds in a row for Na'Vi. So there was a unpause, and then there was a pause. So we'll see what's going on. Again, Na'Vi back on the buy. Guardian with the single AWP for this round. Flamey maybe a bit short, because again, he only had 1400, and we are indeed going live again. So we'll see if there's a gun to be collected for Flamey. More discussion on the French side.
The funny thing here as well is that if Na'Vi are looking at the round basically, as you highlighted, the only round that EnVyUS have won, it was basically a B rush, and that's happened so many times before where it's actually failed for EnVyUS. That was the one time in the kind of tombola of variance there that actually it ended up coming up a W there for EnVyUS, but previously that hasn't really worked out. So where do they even go? There's no consistency for them as far as where they can find success. So that is such a difficult problem to answer right now for the French side.
So after lots of passive rounds, Simple's going for a forward play towards A once again. Meanwhile, Kenny's over towards B. So this may not work out for Envy. Apex coming close. Not sure if Simple's heard him. He's got a grenade in his hand. He's just going to buy time for his team again. So he's not going for those early aggressive plays. Speaking of which, seized, boosted up. Nasty surprise for Happy. AK collected, and Na'Vi can back off with that victory.
Wow, just not working out for EnVyUS, losing all of the picking opportunities. Apex looking to turn the corner, does find himself the headshot onto Seized, and trying to carry the momentum forwards, but Edward is in place in time to capitalize on Apex, still having his a nade out, well, or rather the gun not ready yet to use. Now it's a 2 versus 4, and Na'Vi know exactly what's coming.
Sixer trying to do what he can, but down to NBK now. Got a second kill. That may pay off a bit later on, but Flamey comes in for the flank, and that's going to be that. Na'Vi make it to double figures. This is like, this half is like playing someone at paper, rock, scissors, but they have a mallet and they're just smashing your fist.
Wow. So in a spot now where nothing's worked, and that's really that's a position that's very hard to play from, because it's not even a point of where you call your individual skill into question. Let's say, you failed a clutch or something. It's just your overall approach, the spots you're getting into. Na'Vi are just getting way more advantages strategically and tactically. So the rush is on. Perhaps that's the answer. The variance thrown in once more, and we get the trades here, and it's actually working out fairly well. But the bomb is in a really forward position. It's lost now, and it's going to be contained in connector. Oh, Guardian finds himself a headshot onto the wayward Apex, leaving Happy once again alone in a 1 versus 2.
The advantage here, though, is that it's Happy. You never know where he's going to be, but indeed, Envy ended up on the wrong side of the choke points, and Guardian likes to choke people with his AWP. Happy will be the next victim, and that is another round in the bag for Na'Vi. One round remains for Envy to give themselves a fighting chance moving into the second half. I think I saw a second AWP for this round. Simple's picked one up.
Oh, that's glorious, James.
In the space.
Guardian looks pretty smooth so far, I gotta say.
Yep, he's having a good time. He is having a good time indeed. He's got an AWP for himself as well. So 2 AWPs for Na'Vi going into the last round. Once again, Envy on the pistols. The things that made them notorious in the first place. These Tech 9s, these CZs. Charging towards B-bombs. Like, can they be successful?
Guardian, once again, we just said he was smooth. Has a lot of players coming his way, but they've got pistols. He's going to fall back. He has good positioning, actually. Good support, too, to try to AWP from comfort. But a couple of whiffs here. He's being, again, saved by his teammates. So it's not going to amount to anything here. Positioning overall has been wonderful for the Na'Vi side, but Happy's going to get a couple of kills. It's not going to matter, though. It's going to be a 12-3 first half for Na'Vi. Very solid.
Download Team Stream, the free app from Bleacher Report, and follow the esports stream for all the latest ELEAGUE and esports news. There it is on your screens. Check it out. It might not matter what team you are at the moment. If you're facing Na'Vi on Cobblestone, you're going to have a tough time.
And the cool thing, too, is that actually what I noticed about Na'Vi's defense, and obviously they had such a strong CT side that we just witnessed, is that they played it very differently as to how they played Mousesports yesterday. There was a bunch of setups that we saw against Mousesports that we did not ever see against EnVyUS, and it makes a lot of sense because Mousesports are generally a slower team that play more defaults. So actually we saw Na'Vi playing more players early in the round, like towards A, like 3 players towards A, which is fairly unconventional. The safe default way to play is how they played against EnVyUS here, which is where you tend to have 4 players early on B because you're afraid of the rush timing. So awesome adjustments from Na'Vi strategically.
So these are the top fraggers for both sides. Flame up there with 17, Happy with 12, but it's only been good for 3 rounds. The pistol's going to be very key for Envy, so we'll see if they can make it. So for those of you hoping for Dragon Lore drops, let me know. Would you rather a Simple AWP or a Guardian AWP? I think after Simple's recent performances at Majors, I think that one will be
for sure, man.
Especially a Na'Vi Simple AWC. I think people are going to be pining for those. If you get one, let me know. Feel free to send it my way as well.
And for those of you that don't know, because we might have some CS fans that were not around in Guardian's era, because as far as like best AWPers in the world, I think Fallen has been agreed to be probably most people's best AWPer in the world for quite some time now. But before Guardian's injury, he was largely considered to be the best AWPer in the world because he was able to combine very intelligent play and good decision making with insane raw skill, which kind of dropped off after he got his injury, unfortunately. And so this is the tournament for Guardian to have a resurgence, and he's looking good so far.
He is. Let's see if Envy can look good in this second half, though. They've got 5 Kevlars, no defuse kit for them. Na'Vi have got flash smoke onto C's. Other than that, it's Kevlar for them as well. No P250s or other such weaponry. Guardian, is he going to get flashed in? I don't know. Having a look around, Happy's playing the off angle. And he has Apex 4 support from range. You want to use these range if you can with these USPs. Happy will hear the footsteps, but he's not in a position to retreat now. He's got to stand his ground. He's got 2 players coming his way, and he's going to go down. No frags for him, but he's got some information. Still early days, though. Na'Vi can do whatever they want.
They certainly can. All the time in the world. Now, Apex is trying to get some info here for EnVyUS. You can see him creeping forwards, and this is so much good information. If Na'Vi play this too slow, Apex could have a round-winning play on his hands with the flank, and it's looking good for that, especially with the positioning of EnVyUS. They're going to be able to contain the push for a while to really set Apex up here. This is so tense right now. Apex could definitely mess this up if he's not careful. He's got to be so good in this position. There's one, gets the second two. Beautiful, just enough, and that should really set Na'Vi off balance.
Yep, it's abandoned ship, or is it? Where are they going to go in this situation? This has kind of totally thwarted their plans. They may realize there's a stack back towards B, and Envy are rotating as well. They're spreading back out once again. They can afford 2 per site now, or maybe 1 B and keep somebody around the connector. They'll hear one person drop, but what are they going to do if they're simple running all over the place? There goes Kenny, no bomb spotted though. Where is the bomb? That's the question. Down goes Apex as well, trying to reposition, not working out for the TTs. Sixer has a lot of work to do.
Yeah, that's a very important frag there from Sixer. Good position as well to work from with that USP, just trying to harass and just delay these Ts. Now the bomb has to go down, and MBK knows it. Gets himself the free kill basically, as Edward was trying to plant that bomb. And here is the play that made the difference. Apex got himself all the way around the back. Very nice push from him.
Round the back.
And now it's EnVyUS in with a chance here. They've got a good economy to start things off with, and we'll start to see more of the Na'Vi T side of Cobblestone. The TT side was impressive, but what does the T side look like?
Yeah, Na'Vi didn't really have... They were less than 10 seconds to plant the bomb, which is probably why Na'Vi went for the tree plant, which of course is somewhat exposed if someone is near Boulder, as opposed to planting behind the statue. Works out for Envy. Stereo headshots to finish off the round. So there is opportunity now. But again, Na'Vi so prepared on their CT side. Envy at this point will surely have to go into their CT side with no expectations of Na'Vi's T side. And that's a scary thought.
It really is. And right now, Na'Vi are making EnVyUS sweat a little bit. Really just playing out the time without making a single sound anywhere on the map. We will have some grenades perhaps coming in now. There they are, the smokes. And that should tell EnVyUS a few things here, but we get the push straight into connector, so they maybe made it look like they're trying to go for that B play potentially, but streaming through connector, close ranges, absolutely ideal here for Na'Vi with those Tech 9s.
They've got 2 rifles now. They've got 2 rifles, and there's no response yet from Envy. Guardian walks straight into the crosshairs of Happy. That's 1 kill, but now they know where Happy is. They know where one of the 3 players are. They have to assume that somewhere towards B as well, so that might play into favor of Na'Vi. There we go, Happy with the long range kill onto Steve. Now he can run distraction, allowing his teammates to rotate. He's clearing houses, Happy. NBK goes down in the meanwhile. Edward now with the Tech 9, Flame of the 8-4, trying to reposition, but Flame is the last man standing. The dink onto Sixer, 1 more to fight, and he does it. He has crushed the buy of Envy. There are big problems here for the French.
How did he do that, James? The quad kill, 8 points of health at the end. Flamey, even just opening things up with the entry kill here with the Tech 9s. That's a great round as well. I mean, really trying to play to the strengths of those Tech 9s, and against also the expectation of Tech 9s, which is basically just to rush B, which is maybe what EnVyUS, that's what they were thinking would be up, but in fact it was to connect the push. So that is going to feel bad. That is not where you want to lose around here. EnVyUS's economy is crushed. They are forced to spend all their money to try to win a round where they have a massive disadvantage.
You wonder what the rest of Na'Vi's maps are like if Cobblestone's looking like this. Everybody picked Astralis to win this major, but you gotta wonder, man. You gotta wonder. NBK and Cope with the fourth buy here. Apex is flashed again. In the meantime, Sixer's putting in some damage towards the B bomb site. Can he buy time for his team? Pretty much the whole team here, and Happy's just containing from the back, but C's taking him down. He's overextended. There goes Kenny S as well. Time is running out for Envy. 2 players remain. Apex creeping around the statue. Oh my god, that's huge from Apex, leaving Simple alone now on the site, but they don't know where he is. Surely from the back though, NBK finishes things off just when you thought they were down and out. Envy come back with the pistols.
The 5-7 is so good. The 5-7 is so good, and Apex is so good as well. That is a very surprising victory there for EnVyUS. That's going to keep them in this one by the skin of their teeth. But I'm sure Na'Vi, despite their economy being completely rocked by that loss, they're going to be very confident to continue here with such a round advantage.
Steam logon error for Kenny, so there's a small delay before the game resumes. Maybe that gives the teams time to chill out, because things have to be getting tense here, especially for the French side. Rocky roller coaster, but every 1 round that Na'Vi win puts them closer to winning this match. They are only 3 rounds away now, and Envy are 8 behind Na'Vi. An AK picked up for NBK. That's a nice bonus. He could drop a gun for a teammate as well. 3,600 in the bank. The unpause has come in. We'll see what Na'Vi can do. It was such a great round to put them in that position in the first place, but Envy took it all away. But can they capitalize on their current advantages?
Yeah, it's going to be a very long road indeed. And no less, they will be on the CT side. that makes it tough, because it's hard to take dominating control of the map and the pace of the map on the CT side and really exploit some of the weaknesses of your opponents. You instead have to essentially be the recipients of the pace of your opponent here. The T's get to dictate what goes on there. You can see just with these pistols and no armor here, no utility really, single flashbang on Guardian. There's not much expectation for the Na'Vi side, but they're going to take that one. A nice little frag there from Guardian. Still a Deagle in play on Guardian and Flamey as well, so there's always danger. And James, why? Why is it a 3-on-3 right now? This is actually a problem.
I did wonder if he was going to go back for the repeak. EnVyUS cleaning up, but there's lots of 1 versus X situations for Envy at the moment. Look how deep that grenade is. What's worth noting is that Na'Vi didn't choose to force buy at the beginning of a half. You just see constant force buys. Normally it goes back and forth for ages. But Na'Vi have chosen a different route. Edward now, it's about damage in this situation. He just wants to maim Envy as much as possible. See what else he can do. Down on health again. There was minimal investment. No Kevlar onto Edward. Playing a blind spot just in case anybody overextends. And this is risky, nervous waters for Envy with one player over towards the B bomb site and nobody watching the drop whatsoever. That may cause him to move around a bit. So Edward could pick somebody off just about in the right position there, and surely it's going to be a blind spot now for a few seconds. Kenny, though, finishes things off. Another round in the bag for Envy.
Did get a little bit scary, though, and they can't really afford to lose any weapons in rounds like that. Every edge counts at this point, especially when it goes towards the benefit of their economy.
3 screens, no Kleenex. Thumbs up from me. Thank you for tuning in.
EnVyUS fans, they need all the support right now. They need all the energy going forwards. This is such a climb ahead of them. Now, they are up against an Na'Vi with no utility really. It's very limited, so we might see a very fast round, in fact. And EnVyUS is on the AWP, so this should be a fun one.
Yeah, you talk about playing for picks. And now we've got Simple, the likes of Simple to play with. So, you wonder what will happen on the Na'Vi side. Simple, he's firing into the wall, maybe to try and cover the movement. It's a drop 3 players there for Na'Vi. More surprises coming for Envy, and they're falling 1 by 1. They can't get any price back.
Oh, this is bad. This is real bad. Just Happy left. EnVyUS couldn't get anything done. And it always looks very, very sad in situations like this where everyone on Happy's team dies immediately. Then we just go to his POV and he's just like walking around somewhere because there is, what can you do? He's often in the lurking position, and this time he's on the wrong side of the map.
We had the commentator PC on Simple. Just wanted to see if he was going to go play for any picks or anything, but he was standing there facing the wall at the beginning of B Plateau, and then he started shooting the wall. Yeah. And I was wondering, why are you doing that? And then 3 people, as they start moving in, he starts spraying into the wall. 3 people jump into the drop, trying to cover. That is a very nasty surprise for Envy, and it's cost them 4 of their 5 players. Once again, Na'Vi steal around, which puts them 2 away from victory. Yeah,
it's such a beautiful thing when you see players using other sounds to cover footsteps. This is something that Flusher did in one of his like crazy aces that he did on Dust 2. That is in so many highlight reels. He used a grenade to like cover his dropping sound and to enter a position where his opponents didn't know where he was or could possibly be, and it allowed him to ace. And so there's so much value from that, and I feel like we don't see it enough. So that's awesome. I thought he was trying a crazy wallbang at first I'd never seen before, but yeah, you're right.
I thought he was just shooting the wall.
He's just angry.
I want to shoot this wall. Anyway, Envy buying as much as they can. The 6 are reduced to the CZ, but again, it's a gun that Envy made notorious. But time's difficult, and now we have...
What is that?
Who is
doing that?
It sees there's a smoke on the drop, and he's just shooting in case anyone's boosting. In the meantime, Kenny gets picked off. Sixer rescues the rifle, but can they rescue the round?
Sixer with the forward position here on the plateau. It's a good position. It can often be one and done. Let's see if it pays off for him. It could very well be the case that Navi's on the block of their team through drop zone. Oh, that looked like it could have been good there for MBK, but taken down. Happy's dead on the A side of the map too. So at this point, Navi with a minute left, they can go anywhere. Sixer reveals himself, and indeed it's a one and done. But that can't be how this goes. It's only Apex remaining now against 4 players. That's not good.
Apex with the French gun. Can the French gun do it for him? The FAMAS. Can see the French army walking around a bit.
So far, the French team is not doing it for him in this cobblestone game, James.
They may need the French army to win this match against Na'Vi. And now Na'Vi reach match point. This is like a warning shot to everybody else. If you play Na'Vi, you better think twice before leaving cobblestone in the map pool. We'll see if Na'Vi can take it over the line. Looks likely because EnVy have no money to buy.
Yeah, they are in the doldrums right now. Their money is all but gone. They've scrounged and found what they can through scavenging, and they've come up with some CZs, 5-7 at Deagle, and a UMP. Good luck. Let's see if they can do something with it. So there are some cool spots, but the thing is, Na'Vi have been very good and disciplined with removing the most dangerous positions, using utility, using grenades, smokes, flashes, molotovs, HEs, and so on. They've been spot on there, really showing the work that they've put in on this map in the big break that we've had before the major. Or between majors even as well. Been a massive break between the majors. 6 months, I think. Here we go, Simple. First man. And there's 3 men to find. Simple might just be going for a pick here, and his team might just leave him to this. We'll have to see if that's the plan. What can Simple find? So far, nothing.
I do wonder if Happy is going to go for a flank. He's very forward towards A. Other than that, they are at the mercy. They are at the mercy. NBK with the CZ. This is a dangerous spot to seize. The flash comes in as well. He's crouch peeking. Not going to work out for him though. Damage done, but it's man advantage EnVy. Flamey now looking over the drop. Maybe looking for a CT to try and rescue that gun, but EnVy know better than to do that. They can't afford to take those risks. Some jump peeking from Kenya. Around the statue. He can't peek again. He knows that. Flash coming in. Here comes Sixer now on the low ground. Just good for 1 kill, but Kenyes will trade from range. And now down to the 2 versus 2.
Yeah, very slow considered effort here from Na'Vi. Very diligent and disciplined. It has, however, had some holes thanks to EnVyUS's aggressive play with these flashbangs, but it's down to Happy once again. He's got the Deagle. He knows where they are. His position unknown. Coming in. First shot's going to connect onto Flamey. Now it's just Edward. Still just a Deagle here. Not going for the reload. Happy pushing the position to try to find Edward quickly here. The bomb is down. Happy goes for the shot. It connects, but not good enough. Edward too strong. He will stand tall above Happy's body. It's a 16-6 victory here. What a display on cobblestone from Na'Vi.